If Boston doesn't come out and trap Luka on a pick and roll,
They're not.
then they have a bad
They're not.
scout. They have bad what are the analytic team? Because per possession, every time you trap Luka, points per 100, they're sitting at about 65 to 68 points. Switching, 110. 110, switching, sagging on them. No, 110 is
Drop coverage.
drop coverage. Switching is 112. Trap 67 out of 100 possessions. So if you don't even think about it, you literally are a moron. Because if you're gonna switch and drop, they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm telling you where they're gonna play it, man. They got all the same size guys. They got good. Listen, they got good defender in Drew, good defender in Derek White.
Let me tell you what happens.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you what happens. All right, what y'all talking about is putting Derek Lively in that pick and roll. Right?
I don't give
a fuck. Luka pick and roll with Derek Lively or Gafford, right? That's what y'all are assuming.
No.
So if you do guard to guard, pick and roll.
They got to switch it.
They gonna switch it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm saying trap.
So you're saying trap it regardless.
Trap
So who you throwing it to if it's guard to guard?
Kyrie.
So you gonna leave Kyrie open?
Now you see why I said Kyrie could. That's what I was getting to.
So you gonna leave Kyrie open?
If they do their defense right, that's where this conversation was going. If they play smart basketball, where the stats say trap Luka on all pick and rolls, there's no other defense you even think about. That means the only option left to take over a game will be Kyrie.
So
you cannot play Luka switch. You can't play him and drop. The stats say it does not exist in his world.
So you saying that the Boston Celtics will be dumb if they don't double?
They would be idiots.
Don't put two on Luka.
Right. So
that means Kyrie
whoever
the guard to guard pick and roll.
That's what he said. Whoever's setting it.
Whoever's setting it, trap him.
The stats says trapping.
The stats say trap him because it's damn near a 40% drop off on Mavs offense, which means Kyrie turns into Terminator. So if they did win and that defense was played, Kyrie has a chance of being the Finals MVP.
All right. So in the Wolves series, the reason they did the pick and roll and they didn't switch it, or they didn't trap it, is because they did it with Lively or Gafford, right?
Because they dumb.
They dumb.
Okay.
They thought their individual one-on-one defense was good enough to stop Luka. That's what they.
Who's dumb, coach?
Okay, but we talked about if they did trap that last play, they would have threw it to who?
Lively.
All right, and we're living with him making a play.
A decision.
Okay, so in this series, if we're not throwing it to Lively and living with that.
So that means Lively's not doing a pick and roll?
That means that Lively's not doing the pick and roll. That means we're doing a guard-to-guard pick and roll. We're throwing it to P.J. Washington, we're throwing it to Jones, or we're throwing it to Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different scenario. You cannot live with that.
0.67 says you do.
What do you mean 0.67? The stats?
Out of 100 possessions, they're scoring 67 points if you trap Luka on a pick and roll.
With the bigs.
With pick and roll.
So you get,
anytime you put two on Luka.
Ain't no anytime if we don't have the stats for the guard-to-guard pick and roll, and what happens?
It's a double team.
And then the big.
It's a double
team. We
Anytime
need
you
to
put
know.
two on it.
We need to know what that looks like.
Anytime you put two pick and rolls, the percentage is 0.67. If you do drop coverage, is 1.1. He's scoring. The team is going to average at least 110. If you switch it, 112.
All right.
So therefore, stats say 40% less, double this man.
That man.
So
double the man.
So for me, if you double him and we full rotate, because I'm not. See, we talk stats like we don't know hoop. Like, let's talk hoop. Let's not.
What happens when I double you? You do what? You pass the ball and go around.
No, but we talking about guard to guard.
It doesn't matter where you go. It has to go somewhere else besides Luka, right?
Yes, and it's going to who?
Don't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
Somebody
and y'all know it matters.
So
because if I go pick and roll with Kyrie Irving and it's a double and he's open for the fucking we have to full rotate.
And if I full rotate to Kyrie like any smart person would,
it's going
then go.
Then
it goes
got
to
Washington in the corner. You got Jones Jr. over there. You got two shooters.
Yes.
No,
and it's 0.67 with them doing that.
They're not two shooters.
What you mean they're not two shooters?
They're not. I'm not afraid of them.
It's points.
I think they're gonna win, but I'm not afraid of them as shooters.
0.67 once you double.
I want the ball to find.
Like I said,
that Kyrie is on this court.
You don't like analytics.
I want the ball
you don't like
Kyrie,
all these analytical
remember,
motherfuckers coming
Kyrie is on
not
this.
talking ball.
Kyrie is on this court also, right?
Listen,
so if it goes to Lively
basketball.
and he gives it to Kyrie, Kyrie still has it.
Hey,
at some point.
talking
We're not
basketball.
rotating outside of Lively. If it's Lively in the pick and roll and we're doubling Luka and then Lively gets it, we're not leaving.
Okay, can I ask you?
They can make a play. We just showed your clip of when you got it.
Okay, we're gonna go with
you went and you dunked that bitch.
We're gonna go with your theory. Let's play it out. Who's guarding Luka?
Derek White.
No, wrong from the beginning.
Okay.
Derek White.
Oh, this is match. Sorry.
Okay, Derek White. Okay,
My bad.
Derek White. Who you want to do pick and roll with? You said guard to guard.
Let's do pick and roll.
You said guard to guard.
Let's do pick and roll with Derek Jones.
You just said Derek. You said guard. Your whole argument right now is guard to guard.
Derek Jones not a guard? Okay.
Who's going?
Is Derek Jones not a guard?
Derek Jones is starting guard?
Bro, what are you talking about?
Derek Jones.
No.
The guard is Kyrie. But I know what you thought when I said do the pick and roll, and you was thinking guard to guard. You realize the switch. No, he knew what it was.
Oh, they're guard heavy.
No. You're saying
got four guards in the big.
You're saying it
PJ
right.
Washington the guard?
Yes, all of them are guards.
Listen, he knew what was happening when he put Derek White on him. And the guard,
Drew Holiday on them.
And the guard was,
and
the guard was coming, and it was gonna switch it. Now you're switching Drew Holiday on. He thought about it.
Either one. No, I didn't.
Now you're thinking.
No, I didn't.
Now you're.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You knew who was gonna be guarding.
Right now, then.
Okay.
Drew Holiday's guarding.
Okay.
Guarding Luka.
Guarding Luka.
Okay.
No. Let's change it even more.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown.
Guarding Luka.
Jaylen Brown guarding Luka.
Okay.
All right. Derek Jones comes in to set the guard to guard.
A forward.
Are all of these guards?
A forward now.
Okay, is Jaylen Brown a guard?
No.
He's not. So now we're switching up of positions for the fact that y'all want to survive in this conversation now.
I don't think
we're
Jaylen Brown
playing
is
a
guard.
4-guard series where both teams have 4 guards. But you want to say that, all right, Jason Tatum's a forward, Jaylen Brown's a forward, I get it. But you guys know as hoopers, these are guards.
Okay.
And this is a guard-to-guard switch if they go guard-to-guard pick and roll. Regardless of how you feel, you know that.
Well, it's not.
You know that.
Guard, the same size guys.
Same size guard-to-guard is the same conversation.
Size guys.
Okay,
Same size.
same size.
Same size is not their position.
Switch the conversation.
No, that's not their position.
Same size.
PJ Washington is a 4.
Same size.
Derek Jones is a 3.
Same size.
A 3.
Okay,
4.
so why the fuck am I doing a
Same
pick and
size
roll
guys.
for what? Then why the
same size?
Why am I doing a pick and roll to get the same type of dude on me?
Because you just said we're going to double Luka regardless. That's why. You said we're going to double Luka regardless. So Dallas, send Derek Jones Jr. over there to fucking set a screen so you can be the facilitator and not Lively.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
So when they double, we got 2 guards on Luka. Jones, you either go dunk that bitch because you're a high flyer.
I'm rotating.
Now you're going to rotate on Jones. Who's open?
Lively.
Washington.
Lively, the one you're trying to get
Washington is open.
Okay, can I ask you another
He's shooting, what is his shooting percentage? I think he's about 38.
PJ Washington?
Yeah, I think he's about 38.
You can't change on your fantasy lineups and your fantasy movements. You can't change 0.67 on trapping them. right?
I'm talking
There's a reason.
ball.
There's a reason he does not do guard to guard, because obviously he needs to pick and roll to get past the first nigga he has on him. I want this person off me, so I'm gonna do a pick and roll to get somebody else that I don't want. So if I have this guy on me and I'm doing a pick and roll, the same guy on me is pointless.
We know you get loud when you're wrong.
Pointless.
We know you get loud
if
when you're
I got
wrong.
Drew Holiday on me and I do a pick and roll to get White on me, I don't want him either.
But if we're done,
I want Lively's guy on me.
You said
because I know. Hey,
you said double regardless.
I'm doing a pick and roll with a big man because if they switch, I get the big man on me.
Said double
I am not doing a pick and roll with Kyrie's guy because I don't want that nigga guard me because I can't get past him either. There's a reason I do pick and roll. I do pick and roll because I'm slow-footed and I need an advantage. I can't get an advantage if it's same size switching, and that's why they don't do it.
It don't make any sense. You just said that the statistics said trap regardless of what happens. If you trap this guy, whether it's Lively or anybody, the statistics say this.
Yes.
So then why wouldn't I do a guard to guard where I got two guards on Luka?
Because they haven't.
Exactly.
Because it's not part of their plays.
They haven't.
It's not part of their plays.
So if I'm Boston, why wouldn't I do it?
Because it's not part of their
Boston, why would I trap?
Why would you?
Why, if I'm Boston, why would I trap the pick and roll if there's no statistic for it?
Because
there's no statistic for it.
Hold on. The statistic for trapping him says 67%. You're trying to recreate something that they don't do.
I'm being a coach.
That's fantasy.
I'm being a coach.
Fantasy.
No, it's not.
It's fantasy.
It's realistic. Jason Kidd, if they're going to trap us, like Gil said, you'll be stupid, Boston Celtics, to not trap Luka. Okay, hey team, they're going to trap us. Regardless of who we throw in the pick and roll, let's do a guard to guard where our guard is facilitating. That's the smartest thing you could do as a fucking coach.
Okay, but that's not real.
How?
Because it hasn't happened. They don't.
Exactly, it hasn't. Because
So
I just told them to fucking do it.
You're arguing about.
Nostradamus did it again. Hey, Jason Kidd, if you're watching this, do a fucking guard-to-guard pick and roll. Let your guard facilitate the goddamn game, and you'll have open threes.
You mean same size guys? Because if we say guard, they're not. It's.
Damn, are you a Celtics fan?
No, I'm just saying if you do guard,
this guy.
if you're gonna do
He
guard,
said the Celtics are dumb if they don't fucking trap. And I'm saying, hey, Celtics, if you go by Gil's logic and you do trap, hey, Mavericks, this is what you can fucking do to beat that. So I would say Celtics don't fucking do that shit because there's a way to beat it.
there can't be a way to beat it if you just made it up. Hey, Celtics!
If you're a hooper and my shit don't make sense, ask them. If you're a hooper and my shit don't make sense, give me a thumbs fucking down, goddamn. Because if we look at hoop and we could draw this shit up right now, if you gave me a board and we drew this up right now, Luka pick and roll, top of the key, guard to guard.
Boston.
Whoever catches the ball to facilitate that, they gotta make a decision to fucking rotate or let me go.
Or we're gonna just create some more stuff. Hey, Boston, if they do a guard-to-guard pick and roll, I'll switch it. And so they do a pick and roll with Lively, and then you trap it.
Is that your answer? Oh, man.
We're creating fake scenarios. If you do a pick and roll, guard to guard, because your best defensive players are guards, and you're saying Jaylen Brown is a guard that can play defense, is a two-way player. If he does any pick and roll with you guys, switch it. Now, what do you do after that? What do you do?
You said Boston would be dumb if they don't double the pick and roll. Don't switch it now. You just said it. Don't say, oh,
nigga,
switch.
You're creating a whole different scenario that doesn't even exist.
It does exist. It's called guard-to-guard pick and roll. That exists.
Okay, so
in basketball.
So if they do guard-to-guard pick and roll, don't switch.
Don't double.
Don't double.
Don't double.
And switch.
That means don't double the pick and roll.
They do guard to guard. Don't double and switch it. Now what?
Don't double.
Don't double and they switch it. Now what?
Go to work, Luka.
Why didn't he do that on the first nigga?
Exactly. That's why you don't fucking do it. You don't fucking do the pick and roll looking for a fucking switch with the fucking big man. Because if we're going to trap it regardless, you ended up giving it to Lively who can't make a fucking play. If we double Lively in the picking, if we double that, you're giving it to Lively to do what?
No. You can't talk your way out of this one, sir.
You're giving it to Lively to do what?
If Luka plays in the pick and roll, right? And they go, and I'm saying because Dallas playbook is Luka pick and roll with his big man. That's their playbook, right? Since that's their playbook, the stats say trap them because it's 67. Okay? Now you want to create a whole nother offense. Okay, cool. So you're saying do a guard-to-guard pick and roll. Since they're gonna double, well, if they're gonna do guard to guard, why am I doubling? I can just switch it. Now I'm saying, what do you do now offensively? No matter what the fuck you say is gonna sound stupid because the original guard on him, he didn't want on him. He wants a big on him. So if he has Drew on him, he don't want Drew on him. He wants a big man on him. He wants Porzingis. He wants Al Horford. So if you go guard to guard, White or Drew guarding him, or Brown or Tatum, we can switch it. He's back to the original form, which he is not going one-on-one in the first place.
You said the Boston Celtics will be dumb not to double Luka Doncic in the pick and roll regardless.
Because their pick and roll is one
you said,
in this.
You said
this
regardless,
is their pick and
Gil.
because,
you said it don't matter. When I said guard to guard, you said it don't matter.
Because
the statistic says this is the success regardless. Guard to guard or Lively. And I said, okay, that doesn't make sense because there's a solution to that. That's all, bro. And I proved that.
And you can't prove something that's fantasy. It's fantasy. You're making it up.
How?
Because it doesn't exist.
It does exist.
Show me the stats. No, I don't give a fuck what you said. I don't give a fuck what you said. Show me. Show me when they go guard to guard, what is their percentage? Show me.
I asked that. I said, well, what are the percentages for guard to guard? And you just said, oh, everything. It's all included. You said it's all included. I was like, well, it can't be all included because they haven't separated it. I said that.
They're on a trap with Luka. No matter what fucking fantasy stats, whatever fucking fantasy scenarios you're going to put up, right? It is 6.67. That is the stat,
that
right?
Sounds like
if I say every time we leave Rashad open, he shoots 20% from three, and then you say, hey, take one bounce. You're gonna shoot 80. You got your rhythm. You don't shoot 80. You got your rhythm. Just take one bounce, get your rhythm, and shoot it. That stat does not exist for you to be right.
You're scrambling, bro.
No, you scrambled.
You're scrambling.
Because that's what you want them to do. On a guard-to-guard pick and roll between two guards that he don't want on him anyway.
You said he might as well the pick and roll regardless, Gil. You can't get out of this.
Okay.
You said that.
Okay.
I didn't say double the pick and roll regardless. You did. That means that there's no switch anymore. So stop saying
guard him. Okay. We guard him no matter what the pick and roll is.
Double it.
That's
what you saying.
Yes.
All right. And I'm saying if they're going to do that,
they're going to mean they don't do it.
Oh my.
So what you're trying to say doesn't even exist.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They don't do that.
It's obvious that they don't do it. They haven't played each other yet. What are you talking about, bro? They haven't even met. They haven't played each other yet.
So what?
Of course they haven't done it yet.
So what you're saying doesn't even exist.
And what I'm saying is going to be the solution to what you're saying. You're saying double.
Then how can you be right about how can you be right about a solution that doesn't even exist?
Because the solution is guard to guard. You have to make a decision now. Compared to Lively, you don't. You can say Lively, do your thing.
Hey. and if Shaq was white, Shaq would be Bird. Okay, fantasy is fantasy.
How is
you
it
can't
fantasy?
win fantasy.
It's not fantasy.
You can't win fantasy.
It's not fantasy,
No matter
bro.
what you say, it's fantasy.
We're
It's
talking
not
basketball.
Real. It's not real.
We're talking basketball strategy.
So-
we're talking X's and O's in a real basketball scenario, and you're calling it fantasy because we haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
What are you talking about, bro? It's like you're acting like you never played basketball before. Like that's what's so crazy about this conversation is the fact that I came up with a solution to your problem. Your problem being double this no matter what. Double this no matter what. I say, well, that would mean that if you did this, that mean they would have to change up their strategy because you're leaving a dangerous guy who can make a play wide open after the double team, no matter what. This is not Lively in the pick and roll anymore where you can say, hey, man, well, at least we can slow rotate back to Lively because he's not a threat. No, you're now passing to a threat with a threat in the corner wide open. What are you going to do now? That's not fantasy.
You asking me?
That's not fantasy, Gilbert.
It is because it doesn't exist. So you're making you're making a play and saying, what am I going to do now, right?
With Lively?
No, you said, what am I going to do now on this? I said switch pick and rolls with guard to guard. Since you introduced something that doesn't exist, I'm going to introduce something. Switch it guard to guard. Now what do you do? Yeah, I know it's wow. Wow.
You're changing.
You're changing something.
He's changing.
Go.
So listen. What he is saying is the stat says double team Luka, right? You're saying this, you gave a scenario to debunk the stat, go guard to guard, right? He came back with his scenario, right? It's y'all playing chess now.
And I'm winning.
Right?
I said switch it. You don't even have
clearly.
No, I'm saying switch it. You're saying no, you can't switch it now. You got to keep doubling.
You got to give him something different.
No, but he's not giving me nothing.
No, I gave you something different.
Things.
Now he's going back to switching it. But he said no matter what, you would be dumb as Boston not to double the
Because if you throw it to Kyrie, then you run another play. Then he's saying to switch it, right?
Yes.
So if you go guard to guard, right?
Which they don't do.
He's just going to switch it then, right?
But he's saying they'll be dumb not to double.
Yeah, because how they play, they don't do guard to guard.
Because the stats say...
You're creating guard to guard.
I'm creating a solution.
So think about what you're saying. They don't do what you're saying. So the stats say, do this on how they play. So you're saying, okay, don't play like that, play like this. Now what? Okay, if they're going to play like this, sir, I'm going to switch it.
I'm only saying that because you said double it no matter what. That's the only reason the solution is there.
But
because you're saying you would be dumb not to double Luka in all situations.
Yeah, because all his situations are in this way.
It's only in one way because it's only going with the big.
Okay,
like you said, it's never happening guard to guard.
So it's just the stat overall, right?
But it's only one stat because it's only one player. That's what I said.
But we don't know if it's only one player though.
So if it's guard to guard,
we don't know if it's guard to guard, big to big.
You're creating.
Don't know. He's saying it's
I didn't say that.
guard to guard.
We don't know, right?
What do you mean?
I'm saying we don't know if the situation is how many times Kyrie and Luke has run pick and roll during the year.
And
we don't know the
percentage. Separate that.
Right. But we don't have that.
We don't have that. So you can't argue it.
So I introduce its overall, right? Mm-hmm. So the overall stat says when Luka is involved in a pick and roll, no matter who's involved, to put two on him.
Right.
That's the 0.67 possession, right?
Mm-hmm. Listen to what y'all to put any who's in
no matter who's in
two on him.
You put two on him. Okay. That's what the stat says.
Yes.
So he's saying that if they're not doing that, they're not paying attention to analytics because the analytical part of the game is huge now. To get the ball out of Luka's hand, no matter who's setting the screen.
No matter who's setting.
No matter who's.
And I said this. Okay, since it doesn't matter,
you put the guard on him.
Put a guard.
Yeah.
Now,
then he said,
can you do that same scenario?
Then I said switch it. And then he just said no to switch it.
He said no.
Right? To switch it.
To switch it.
He said no.
He said no.
That's switch it.
And then to counter, he said to switch it. Right?
Now what?
No.
Yeah.
Now what?
That means that you cannot do that in a guard to guard.
What? Yeah, you could.
If you're going to double it, no matter what.
You could.
And I introduce guard to guard. That means now,
guard.
No,
you could.
now switch it. Yeah. That's the other. Of course, that's the other
You could
element.
do it because listen, you could do it because if they are hell bent on statistics and these things, you could do it, right? The stat says to put 2 on it. If you're big in if you're analytical, the way you run your shit is 50-50, then the stat says the doubling. But if you are like we fucking 80-20 basketball analytics, it says not to run it, they just gonna switch the shit.
If they gonna switch it every time we go guard to guard, so the guard has it.
Yeah,
and now
so
he says, well, if we go guard to guard, that means switch it.
Us being basketball people saying we're not gonna go guard to guard.
And when I say guard,
we're just gonna put a big in it, right?
So, yeah, because that's what they do. They put a big in it. You're creating something that's not there. You're creating, as a basketball mind, you're creating a guard-to-guard switch,
but
thinking that we're going to keep the same. But when I introduce, well, if they're going to go guard-to-guard, I will just switch it. You don't want to answer this.
No, because that's not the original statement.
Because the original statement doesn't have your fake fantasy plays in it.
No, it's not. It's you saying no matter what happens, we're going to double Luka.
Because the stat says that.
Yes.
So
and all I'm saying is if you got 4 guards as Dallas.
But they're not.
You got 4 guards and then Derek Lively. And if I'm Boston and I got 4 guards and Kristaps Porzingis.
So
we're matched up.
Yeah,
that means I'm gonna go same size pick and roll.
It just so happened that Luka is the same size as fucking 4 men in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So they run
Tatum and Jaylen Brown are all stay the same size.
They're the same size.
So same size pick and roll. We're not. If I'm Dallas, I'm not bringing Lively up.
But the stats.
But that's what I said.
No matter who said, if PJ Washington says it, Derrick Jones says it.
You're saying trap it.
The stat says to trap it.
And I'm saying
if Kyrie,
you're going to do that,
whoever does it,
if you're going to do that,
you're going to throw it to a playmaker.
I'm throwing it to a playmaker.
I understand that. So therefore, the ball is finding them, and the ball is not in Luka's hands. So the stat says we live with the possession.
And
because you're only scoring
you're going to live
0.67.
with that, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So we
don't listen to what he's saying.
But you can't prove
because you're going to die.
But it says 0.67. That's what the end result is.
That's without the guard.
You're making that up. You're making that up. We do not know that. That's why I say you don't know that. You're just creating. So that's not real stat yet.
That's a real strategy.
All right,
that's the point. That's a real strategy.
Where's your? You can't say. Hey, he can do the pick and roll with the coach. And
it was a good try.
Like you creating shit that doesn't.
You're creating it. You're going away from hoop, and you know it.
So we asked the chat.
I don't give a fuck about
I know you don't care.
It doesn't matter what the chat says, right?
Now it don't matter.
No. What I'm saying is on this one, and this is a lot of fucking people out here, a lot of sports people out here. They get into this right here, these conversations.
I can't believe you're putting me in.
And they talk.
I can't believe you're doing that.
You spent 30 minutes talking about a fantasy scenario, and think that the fantasy scenario is provable. Let's say they never run a pick and roll guard to guard. Everything you said didn't exist, doesn't exist. That means they played 80, 90 something. They played 90 fucking games, sir. 90 something games. And the stats on 90 something games is this. So you want to create a scenario to beat the 90 game scenario and have no games to prove it. And say, ta-da! I won. Ha-ha! I'm 0-0. Woohoo! I'm 0-0 on the pick and roll because I can tell you that we're going to pass it to this guy. This guy's going to go down here. We got Michael Jordan Jr. over here. We're going to throw it to Michael Jordan Jr. They're going to put Tim Hardaway Jr. in here, and Hardaway Jr. going to hit all his threes. We're going to pass it to him. He going to have 50. That's your argument.
No, it's
something
not.
you
It's not.
can't.
That's your argument.
No, that's something
That's
you
your
can't
argument.
prove.
I didn't say none of that.
You can't prove.
I didn't say none of that. Can I say it my way?
How do you prove it?
You know my way sounds way better than your way.
Yeah, because
you know my way sounds way better than your way.
Go.
My way.
Let's hear your way.
My way.
Let's hear it.
Hey, Boston Celtics, you're gonna double the pick and roll, no matter fucking what. This is what the fucking Dallas Mavericks are gonna do. Because we're not just talking about Derek Lively running up there in the pick and roll anymore, which is what you're used to 90% of the fucking time.
100.
100% of the time, you're used to Derek Lively. Because you know why? Because they wasn't doubling you. Do you know, hey, Josiah, you know they wasn't doubling you? That's the whole thing. It's like, you would be dumb not to double him. You would be dumb not to double him, because 100% of the time you haven't. 100% of the time you haven't doubled him, which resulted in step-back threes for games. So now you're saying you guys would be stupid not to double him this series, which is the anomaly. This is the anomaly series where now we have to come up with some type of scenario that would combat this 100%. So if we're gonna double him regardless of who runs into the pick and roll, why wouldn't we put somebody who can make a play in the pick and roll? Yeah, we haven't done it before, but this is basketball. Just like if we never run this out of bounds OB, never in practice, but hey, coach, I'm about to draw this play up. Hey guys, are you smart enough to run this fucking play, basketball players? I'm gonna draw this play up. This is what we're doing now. We ain't did it all year, but we're doing it right now. Derek, go into the fucking pick and roll. They double it, you get it, you go. Make a fucking play. Ta-da!
Can I ask you a question? You haven't ran a play all year. You haven't ran it all year. You're gonna draw it up. What's the result? Nothing, nigga. You just made it up because you haven't ran it all year. Ta-da!
So
Has the series started?
moving. It starts tomorrow. Series starts tomorrow.
Ta-da!
Series starts tomorrow. We got a lot to get into. It'll be just as turned up and hostile tomorrow. But we did ask the chat.
Hey, on Friday, when we do our Friday show, because if we did Friday shows, we will be getting 40,000 because it's a Friday.
Hey.
And everybody on Friday like to be on YouTube on Friday. So if we did a Friday show, there's gonna be 40,000 people in there.
Monday through Thursday,
Ta-da!
11:30 Pacific,
Hold up.
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
The body bag is already buried in the back.
Please
In
free
your
freedom.
backyard, Gilbert.
Fantasy basketball, man.
You gonna make me throw your ass in that motherfucker.
Put a leg in.
He plays underdog. Look,
You
underdog.
gonna make me throw your motherfucking ass in that body bag,
Hey,
boy.
underdog / McCants fantasy.
So we asked the chat, is it obvious? 4,000 plus voters, 71% say yes.
Hell yeah, it's obvious. Hell yeah.
We don't know what's obvious though. Now time for Mostly fans. Rashad,
Championship Jones wins again!
we cannot confirm or deny what is obvious though.
That's some nice music, man. That's championship music.
All right, we have one Mostly fans question.
I love y'all over there. Y'all laugh at all my jokes and shit.
Another turned up
It
Dallas
makes me
Arena.
feel so good inside, you know?
Just put a leg in.
Woo!
Just put a leg in.
Shit.